Well, there I started the I started the game. Now there's...
Oh no.
What?
I'm gonna question these guys. We already talked to them, right? We had just had to press? Or did we already press?
We already pressed.
Okay.
Now all we have to do is find one that is, like, not true. Yeah, I know.
Sorry about that.
I've been waiting for
I know. I'm sorry. You've had to look at that old man observing his curios. He's a military guy.
with something around him. Myself!
Eyes. Fire from the back.
The cowardly little weasel. Just the waiter's business card.
I can't read it from here. I'm blind.
Yes!
Okay.
Yes! Oh god.
Are you always gonna be raising your hand?
I think he always does. It's so weird.
The military guy's like sweating, but the old man's like shaking and looking carefree. Everyone's shocked. What are you playing at, cadet? What's the meaning of this subordination? Thrusting this wad of papers in my mustache.
Oh, that's what he really said. I thought you said that.
What?
I thought you made that up.
Inconsistency, sir? I mean, yes! There's a clear inconsistency here. Just what nonsense! What can this document possibly tell us that we don't already know? Well, obviously, I know what I want to say, but the words just won't come out of my mouth. I think this proves beyond any doubt your excellence. That there's no place for an amateur student here in this grand court lab.
I need to get the flute ball.
This is so frustrating. There's always time to get the flute. Oh, please. Surely this doesn't require an explanation. It couldn't be more plain. To spell it out would be an insult to the court. Cosimo, what? What are you talking about? It's apparent from a single glance at the post-mortem report presented by the defense that there's a clear discrepancy here with the surgeon's statement. What? What? No. Surgeon Iesanoza. Yes, sir! What, sir? The statement you just made was this. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel. Yes, sir! Affirmative, sir! I witnessed the crowd with my own military great eyes, sir!
Yes!
But no, that just can't be! And why not, cadet? Because...
Just show him the papers.
As is clearly stated in the post-mortem report, just shove the papers in his mustache again.
Make him read it.
Fatal hemorrhage from pectoral ballistic trauma. No exit wound. Bullet did not pass through body. But the photographic print of victim clearly shows same thing. The victim, Dr. Wilson, died from a bullet wound to the chest. Sergeant, according to your witness statement, the clover shot the victim from behind. Unless the back is now called the chest. And that is the obvious discrepancy here. Well, how do you explain it? What's that, a baby? What the? What was that? Something just popped up from behind his back, but he pushed it down again. It was clearly a baby.
It's a tumor.
It's a baby! Certainly, there's a clear discrepancy with the facts here. Would you not agree, Sergeant Noza? Yes, sir. At this juncture, that would appear to be indisputable. Until the moment I heard the firearm discharge, my eyes were firmly fixed on the delicious La Carnival steak, sir. What? The last testimony the court heard has proven one thing beyond all reasonable doubt. This witness, Sergeant Diaz-Zenoza, did not shoot the defendant firing a gun at all. That's absurd. I think the conclusion we must draw is simple. There's no place for an amateur prosecutor here in this grand courtroom. Yeah!
Oh my god.
There's been a complete turnabout in the mood of this trial, just from that one discrepancy. So this is what being an ace attorney is all about. But I definitely saw him! That university cadet there! He was pointing the firearm directly at the victim's back!
Yes!
Why never fired the gun? All I did was pick it up off the floor! And you, old man, did you see the moment the victim was shot either? Myself, I have already been quite clear. No! The gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor. Oh yes, you were looking for your coupon coin, weren't you? Indeed! The prize Hoey era coupon! Hunting around under the table, I was, in case mayhap it had fallen there, and then it happened. You heard the gunshot, you mean? Indeed I did! But I heeded it not! For I was concerned only with finding my absconded Hoey treasure! Nothing could distract me! Give it back! Give it back! This guy looks like an owl up close. This guy looks like an angry owl up close. Why'd you take away my precious flute? Out of interest. Why would you take away my flute?
I wanted to see if you noticed.
I didn't notice. My eyes see all. My eyes see all, Mom. Oh.
Sorry.
Okay. I know you're sorry. I was just. Alright. Did you find the coin in the end? He still looks like an owl. No. No. Just one simple no. I see. That lamentable day, the precious Hellway Koban was lost to me. No doubt some unscrupulous scoundrel pocketed the prize coin for himself.
We're not on the couch tonight, are we?
Not tonight. As I'm sure everyone present is aware, this case demands a swift and decisive resolution. Our government is promised to send a full report to Great Britain by telegraph this very afternoon. Nevertheless, the witness testimony of the court has heard was inconclusive. No matter how subservient our government feels, it must be to the British. It would be unforgivable to deliver a verdict on this trial right now. What is their position, Prosecutor Ouchie?
Very not, Your Excellency. The defendant may have fled a tiger at the front gate, but he will find a wolf at the back.
My baby.
My witnesses have further testimony to make.
What are you doing?
Explain. Upon hearing their next statements, it will become abundantly clear that there's only one person who could possibly have committed this despicable crime. The equally despicable defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. What?
He really seems to have a despicable opinion of you, doesn't he? No! I will never stop! I never stop!
Never give up. Never give up.
Never stop! Never stop! Never stop! Very well. The court invites the witnesses to testify again. You will thoroughly explain the reasoning behind the prosecution's allegation.
Oop.
Are you interested in my death blade?
Wanted to touch it.
Here, you can touch it. No. Touch this part. It's not a chew toy.
She touched. Okay,
Touch.
she touched it.
Touch.
Whoa! She whoa.
Touch.
She's not having it. Quit.
Touch.
She's gonna hurt you.
She won't hurt me.
I know, I'm kidding. I'm talking to the flute.
Well, the flute will respond!
No!
Is that clear? It's clear as chemical glass, Your Excellency! Yes, sir! At what, sir? Awaiting signal to testify, sir!
Watermelon's like, what is happening?
It's a baby! Excuse me, but there's something or someone peeking out over your shoulder, I think. Affirmative! The newest member of the Noble family to rise up during the ranks, sir! Name, Ido. I've seen those straps are a sign of the surgeon being too strapped to afford a nanny. Ido, attention! Your father's about to quell the enemy!
cute little baby. The true culprit. Even if what I saw wasn't the precise moment the firearm was discharged, it's almost the same thing.
Yes, pointing his gun at the foreign man he was. That young lad in black. That much I myself did see.
Furthermore, a visual search of the premises at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present.
Indeed, alone he was the Englishman, dining all by himself.
This is a flute. Therefore, no one other than the black uniform cadet could have dispatched the Englishman. Over and out. Over and out, Watermelon. Over and out. I need some big wed.
Yes!
Wait, that's nonsense! The victim, Dr. Wilson, wasn't alone at all! Please, enough of these offers already!
Never!
But there was a woman! There was a young woman at his table! You must have seen her! Everyone there must have seen her!
Objection!
Objection!
Oh, I'm sorry, baby. Didn't mean to graze your back with my tootsies.
It's fine.
I see your mom.
The flute.
Did you see my tootsies?
I see mine.
You silly baby. Yeah, you're my silly baby.
You're a pretty girl.
Did you read that?
Alright, if you call yourself a lawyer, then you will respect the rules of the court and speak accordingly.
She wants to touch it so bad. Woo!
No!
There she goes.
Do you love me?
She loves me. Oh, she doesn't love the flute.
Ouchie! We are not here to listen to your fantasies.
Aw, man. Nobody ever wants to hear about my fantasies.
It is evident beyond all reasonable doubt that the victim was alarmed at the time of the incident. The prosecution had photographic evidence of this fact. Is this a photographic print of the scene of the crime council? Counselor. This is the flute, Watermelon. Isn't it an amazing instrument? This is an amazing instrument. I want to pet you with the instrument. The flute. This is the flute.
She's so funny.
No!
Ooh, she wants to play the flute. Imagine if it got in her mouth and she started blowing up. She'd probably get scared.
No! No.
Alright, baby, play with her another
Fine. Indeed, at the table at which the victim was dining, taken by an investigator immediately after the incident. As can plainly be seen, there is only one place set. Certainly, based on the appearance of this print, it would be reasonable to conclude that the victim was not in the company of anyone else.
This doesn't make any sense.
The court will add this new photographic evidence to the record. To the record. Heard. I don't understand. Crystals in a box.
She's in that box.
She's in a box. Like a baby girl. What's going on here? It's just not possible that nobody else saw that woman. Possible. The waiter before said the same thing. He maintains that Dr. Wilson came to the restaurant alone as well. But that's not true! I saw her! I swear that I saw a woman with him! Dot, 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 dot. Dot, 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 dot. It would seem that we'll be able to telegraph the report to Great Britain on time after all. The witness testimonies we have just heard leave no further room for doubt. These are very sensitive political times, as we all know.
Alright.
What'd you say? To think that I, the Cassidy Ouchie, will have contributed to the amenity of these two great empires of the daughter.
Cassidy Ouchie.
Dot 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 dot.
I need to click faster. It's a good way to remind me that I'm not clicking fast.
How can this be happening? The judge is ready to rule over the world. Stand tall, Riddowski. It's not over yet. What? If what you say is true, then there's something going on here behind the scenes. And now it is your chance to expose it, to draw out the truth in your cross-examination. I don't know, Kazuma.
Slap it.
The defense is entitled to cross-examine the witnesses, but make it quick. Understood! These rules can be so unbending at times.
Die.
Get out of here and die.
Get out and then die.
Die right here, right now.
And then get out.
Take away Kazuma's sword and die.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry.
Do you want Kazuma to die? Or
No, I said take Kazuma's sword and die.
okay. Right, true culprit.
Even if what I saw wasn't the precise moment the firearm was discharged, it's almost the same thing.
Is this new?
Yeah. All of these are new. You didn't press on the last one.
But we didn't read these. I don't remember. Did they say this already?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's not new.
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't remember you reading it.
Probably because we kept on making jokes about dying.
Yes!
No, it's not the same thing at all! For start, I did not fire that gun! We have a difference of opinion on that. The opinion of a uniformed officer versus that of a fledgling cadet. I don't think so. Consider this, defendant. Just a moment ago, I blinked.
We couldn't tell.
Did you? Did you see it? Did you see me blink?
We can't see your eyes.
We don't even know what your eyes look like! How
Do you ever
could
see
I?
his eyes?
No. His eyes are shrouded in mystery forever.
Shrouded in mystery.
Shrouded in mystery. They're never going to reveal his eyes, ever! And yet, it is an undeniable fact that I did blink. So there you have it. Have what? Catch on! The sound of the firearm rang in my ears in a very next moment. I saw you waving the gun at the English mob. I think that said it all, don't you?
Grrr.
And let's not forget that the antiques dealer witnessed the accused this most incriminating position as well. Isn't that so, Korakuda-san?
Yes. Pointing his gun to the foreign man. He was the young lad in black. That was maybe
Yes, it may be true that I was holding the gun at that point in time. But I told you already! That's only because I picked it up off the floor! Well, obviously, as the culprit, that's the only way you can explain that down here, world. I had just finished drinking my coffee and I was about to leave the restaurant when... I noticed a gun on the floor at Dr. Wilson's feet, so I picked it up. And at exactly that moment...
Is that what a gunshot sounds like?
Yes, in my point of view. A gunshot rang in my ears. By gunshot, do you mean the flute?
The flute rang in my ears.
That the flute rang in my ears.
all of it. Be under control, life is.
Sorry? What do you mean?
In your case, you found a pistol on the floor and picked it up, which precipitated this testing predicament.
Where'd he get that from?
Why'd you bring it in the courtroom? You should put it away before they take it away from you.
Whereas conversely, I failed to pick up the coupon from the floor and find myself in an equally testing predicament as a result.
Why do you have a knife?
Anyway, the fact remains, I did see you with pistol in hand, standing over the foreigner.
What time is it? I can't see what time
I'm trying to tap my iPad
6:35.
with my toe.
Wait, it's only been 35 minutes?
Yes.
Alright, furthermore, a visual search of the premises at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present.
Yes!
Yes!
You must have noticed someone else at Dr. Wilson's table. There was a lady there.
Is the X where he died?
I think so.
I guess it doesn't matter. There's nothing else.
Wait, it was something you could use the magnifying glass for.
It was?
Yeah. It said magnifying glass.
Oh, but that just lets me get it closer. But I don't have the ability to flip things over yet.
Oh, right.
Although it does show him very great detail.
Yeah, it's so great detail. I don't really know if it's really that much great detail.
Objection!
As you've been and Payne points out time and again, I feel I'm growing a callus in my ear. And yet, no one else to be into account even a glimpse of this woman. Arg. If only there were more people dining there at the time, then someone else would have noticed her. Unfortunately, it was already past 2 p.m. when it happened. The quiet time between lunch and dinner in any restaurant. I know, of course the place was almost empty. It's what you'd expect. Certainly, 2 p.m. is neither here nor there in terms of a time to eat. Okay, I give up on that. I wonder if there was a reason why the victim was eating at that time of day, and why he was alone. Yes, Your Excellency, there was indeed a reason. There was. This was found found in the victim's jacket pocket. What is that, Counsel? It is a medical report card, Your Excellency. Medical... There are report cards that are medical and not just for school?
Yeah.
Neat.
It's a report of his condition, not his grades.
In medical school.
In middle school. He's a professor. He's already out of school.
What if this was from a long time ago? Alright, it would seem that the victim had an appointment at a clinic prior to visiting the restaurant. Hot a clinic. Hot a clinic.
Is that supposed to be like hot tea from the second? Is it the second game? Yeah. Yeah?
Like for Phoenix, right?
Yeah, the hot tea clinic. Remember it has that weird manager?
Yes! For managers.
Quote unquote.
Yes.
I bet it is supposed to be like that.
Flashbacks are beginning. 19th November, noon to past 1 p.m. The very day of the incident. So the victim waited for a late lunch following his appointment. The explanation couldn't be more simple. The prosecution felt no need to submit this evidence before, as it really has no bearing to the case. Evidence. I wonder, what do you think, Ryunosuke? Well, it is hard to see how it could be related, really. Remember, you request for it to be entered into the court record as evidence if you think it could be useful. Should I ask for Dr. Wilson's medical report to be submitted as evidence or not? Ask for it to be submitted.
Yes!
Yes! If I may, I'd like to ask for that medical report card to be submitted as evidence, Your Excellency.
Your Excellency.
On workarounds.
Rounds.
E-R-M. The court has already heard conclusive witness testimony. Additional evidence would be extraneous. Not to mention that the victim's movements prior to his arrival at the restaurant are of no concern.
Objection!
Whether or not they are of concern is up to us to decide. We have a right to explore all possible avenues. All avenues. I beg your pardon. You have no authority to refuse a perfectly valid request for the submission of evidence. Or evidence. Very well. The court will grant the defense's request. Disc! Yesterday's days are forever asserting their rights. It's a most disturbing trend. Officer, kindly add the victim's medical report card to the court's record. The victim's medical report card has been entered into the court record. What we need right now is new clues. We have to explore things from every possible angle, even if they don't seem relevant at first. Right, I hear you. You can conspire to prolong this trial as much as you like, but it's the day after the festival already for you! Or perhaps you'd forgotten that these witness testimonies leave no room for doubt. Feel free to reiterate for the accused, Kurakuda-san. Indeed, alone he was, the Englishman, standing all by himself.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut that off.
It's okay.
I can't look at it. A medical report card. Why can't I look at this? Can I?
Or do we have to do something first?
Oh wait, did I click prison?
So Let's just continue this, I guess. The questioning. So you actually saw that with your own eyes, did you? The victim, Dr. Wilson, dining alone.
That I did. Forgive me for the position I placed you in.
Maybe when we finish pressing, they'll tell me how to look at it.
Yeah, I think that's the case. So the testimonies of the old man, the soldier, and the waiter all agree on that point. Isn't that interesting? And let us not forget the incontestable evidence. We have to support their statements as well. Yeah, very beautiful evidence. As can clearly be seen, there's only a single beef steak on the victim's table. I feel for one. No. The antique dealer, the surgeon, and the waiter who testified before. It's not impossible that they're all lying. But if so, then why? If I'm perfectly honest, I have absolutely no idea.
Yes!
Yes!
Why aren't you telling the truth? What? What'd you say, Cadet? I clearly remember there was a woman sitting across the table from the professor. Perhaps one of you might not have noticed. But for both of you to have failed to see the professor's dining companion, it's just not possible. Unfortunately for you, Defendant Naruto, it's not just the case of these two witnesses alone. Sorry. The waiter whose testimony the court heard earlier clearly stated the same thing. He also said that the victim was alone. That's right. Precisely! In other words, you are the sole provenance of this phantom lady. But if such a woman were indeed present at the scene, the prosecution demands to see proof. And if no such proof exists, the prosecution demands that no further mention of this phantom woman be made. It is a alleged waste of the court's time. There's nothing I can say to that. The return of the flute. The return of the flute.
I knew you could do that.
Alright, excellent work, Ryunosuke. We gleaned some new information now. Well, yes, but I don't feel like it changes much. I can't see that it brings any real discrepancies to light. I wouldn't be so sure. Let me see that medical report card you got before. Oh, you mean this? Yes, this is a brand new piece of evidence. So perhaps we should examine it in a little more detail.
Yes, please. I tried.
No! How exactly?
By maybe looking at it from all angles.
All possible angles.
By setting it on fire and seeing what color it burns.
Yes! Let's see if it turns purple! I want to see if there's such thing as purple fire!
I think there is.
What?
Yeah, different metals cause different types of flames.
What about blue fire?
Yes, blue I think is iron.
Wow.
Or magnesium. No, I think magnesium's white. I don't know. Looking at magnesium burn makes your eyes die.
Really?
Yes. If someone's gonna burn magnesium, don't look.
Is it because it's so bright?
Yes.
You'll notice that some pieces of evidence bear a magnifying glass. These are the ones you may examine. Press A, and you can take a closer look at the piece in question. What were you saying?
No, I was just gonna say it burns your retina.
Oh, I see. Use R to rotate the evidence in all directions and examine it from all angles. Once again, by using
No.
You can move the crosshairs around to hunt for clues that may have been missed before. If the crosshairs start to pulsate, press to investigate further. So, partner, I think you should take a closer look at this medical report card. See if there's something new to be learned by examining it in more detail. Alright, I'll see what I can do. I need to...
No, we don't. No, we don't.
We need to use... We need to use...
No, we don't.
Yes, we do! It looks like this medical report card was first issued quite some time ago. Probably a record of long-term treatment. That's why. With a family doctor, I imagine. Well, I can't imagine going to a doctor, I mean. As long as I'm alive, I'm never consulting one. Well, if you were dead, there'd be no point. So, you don't like doctors then? Why would you? They make you drink horrible tasting medicine. They give you painful injections. And then they demand lots of money for you for the privilege. All when you're at your lowest ebb. You sound like a model patient. With a bad case of stubbornness, no less, for which the only cure is very bitter medicine indeed. Oh, dental right. Hey, Rocket Becca, how you doing? Want me to play a little tune for you?
Welcome to the show.
Yes, played by the flute. The flute. Great name, Dr. John Wilson, Hot Clinic. Hot Clinic. It says Hot Clinic on his medical report card. I hate clinics almost as much as I hate hospitals and surgeries. Aren't they all the same? When I was 5, I caught the only cold I've ever had in my life. And I remember, even though we felt awful already, I had to have this hideous injection in my right arm. I'll never forget it. Never in my whole life. Most people would give their right arm to have had only one cold in their whole life. Anyway, I don't think this is a clinic where they treat people for illnesses like that. Let's keep looking for clues. We don't want to miss anything. Medical report card required for every visit. Such beautiful music. I know, right?
No! We don't need another example.
Gonna make it your ringtone. You better.
You'll never miss a call, I'll tell you that much.
You're never gonna miss a call like this! Alright, let's have a look. This is some kind of medical history. Ah, and there's an entry for the day the professor was killed. Extraction of molar with topical anesthesia. Extraction of molar? You mean he had a tooth taken out? It would seem so. Just before the incident, he'd had a bad tooth removed. Perhaps they used laughing gas. That's the most modern practice in the West for pain relief. Yes, I've heard of this anesthesia. Although it's hard to believe there's anything that can actually stop you feeling pain. Ah, there's a cautionary note from the medical practitioner as well. Strictly no food or drink besides water for 3 hours post-procedure until anesthetic effects have passed. Really? Sounds like information worth bearing in mind. Medical report card's information has been updated in the court record. Now we know what to do. With this new information, the meaning of that one particular statement totally changes. So, I think it's time we listen to the testimony again, don't you? Definitely. Even if what I saw wasn't the precise quote, but the firearm was discharged, it's almost the same thing, blah blah blah.
Whoops. It's this one. This one here.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm gonna save it.
Yeah. I was going to suggest that. Now I'm going to drink something weird.
Oh, we can look at things now. I forgot.
Ah, the symbol of Yuma University. Every student wears this pin with pride. It's funny, but most emblems seem to be either round or rectangular. I like this spike design, even though it doesn't really make any sense. Although, it does cause problems. Lots of students end up cutting their fingers on their badges. Perhaps it was the idea of one of the founders, a sharp pin for a sharp mind or something. My personal student number is engraved on the back here. If you lose your pin, they won't accept you as a UMA student at the university. You may not come in, they say! Of course, you can get a new pin made if you can just tell them your number. I've actually lost mine twice already, but I still don't know my student number by heart. I always say to myself, I mustn't forget to write it down somewhere, but then I forget not to forget that.
Easy number 000901.
I mean, I remember mine just fine. What?
I was gonna say, don't say it out loud.
I wasn't going to! I was just saying, I was just saying I know my student number just fine, but I'm not going to say it out loud, because... Oh, Chief Inspector Satoru... Alright. Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. Wait, what? Well, that's unexpected. What is? Look, do you see it says the witness's name here? Satoru Hosonaga. Well, yes, business cards do tend to show the person's name. That's sort of the point. It's not the name that's unexpected, it's his job title. His job? Oh! Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. Inspector? What on earth? I have no idea. But let's face it, the police have a lot of power and influence. If they're wielding it somehow here. The waiter's business card information has been updated in the court record. Court record.
Bless you!
Bless you, Crystal! I realized that Crystal did not sneeze for until now, like for about an hour. Until now, that is.
Yes!
Oh! It's right! Well, I think, But what are you wittering, lad? Call yourself a lawyer! I wish I could, but first and foremost here, I'm the accused. Rinosuke. Everyone stumbles on their words occasionally. Under the circumstances, I wouldn't worry about it. Thanks, Kazuma. I can see it quite clearly in that cross-examination you just carried out. When you raised your hand straight up like that, so purposefully. You knew exactly what it was you wanted to say. Don't feel like you have to choose your words carefully. Just say what you're thinking. Rainbows!
Spaghetti!
And rainbows!
Rainbow spaghetti.
The flirts!
Are you done?
Yes! Alright, and thanks for the advice. Korikuta-san, this is a medical report card belonging to the victim. Rainbows. I see, and I don't see. What of it, boy? Your parent is written on this report card with your witness statement. Something clearly doesn't add up. Dear me, have you forgotten my word so soon, you amateur? Sorry, what? You are not to interrupt court proceedings with your amateurish drivel. But let's see if I can explain in words you might understand. It was after 2 p.m. in the afternoon when the victim was murdered at the restaurant. Whether you may or may not have done before that time is completely irrelevant. But that's... Remember, Ryunosuke, you don't have to use clever language or fancy words. Just make your point. Your Excellency, I believe we're finished here. There's surely no need to prolong this trial further. The witness testimonies that court has heard have been clear and concise. This medical report has no bearing on the matter at all, for the simple reason that there is no one else besides this pale-faced pupil who could possibly have perpetrated.
It went on its own.
I know. This medical report card has nothing to do with the case. Do you really believe that? What? That outburst has petrified me, boy. Of course I believe it! How would it possibly be relevant? Perhaps because Hana Clinic, which issued the report card, is a dental clinic. A dental clinic? Is that supposed to mean something to me? Perhaps if I told you that the victim had just had a tooth extracted. What's this now? And furthermore, if I told you that as a result, the victim had been forbidden from eating. Just what are you trying to say, cadet? He had orders not to eat? So what? It's all written up in here. No food or drink other than water for 3 hours post-procedure while anesthesia wears off. What? No, that can't. Korikuta-san. What, boy? What? As you just heard, when he was killed, sometime shortly after 2 p.m., the victim couldn't have been eating anything at all. No. Additionally, there's more. You have assured the court with unwavering self-confidence that the victim was dining alone. But that cannot possibly be the case!
He did the hand slap.
Yay. Rah! Because the victim, as we now know, had just had one of his teeth extracted and was still experiencing the effects of the anesthetic! Ah! Expertly done, partner. What is this nonsense? You little upstart!
I hate that word.
Why upstart?
Upstart and that other one, compoopance.
Compoopance! These are baseless accusations! Just look at this photographic evidence! You can clearly see the plate of food at the victim's table!
Objection!
Use your head. That's the very discrepancy we're talking about. Or can't you follow the logic? Oh, dare you! I think it's fair to say that the tables in this restaurant case have turned. Wouldn't you agree, Ryunosuke? Yes! Most definitely! So having just undergone some dental surgery, the victim was unable to eat. Which leaves one very crucial conundrum. Who in fact was eating the pictured beef steak? The court will hear the opinion of the defense on this new puzzle. I assume you're ready, counsel. Counsel? Oh, that means me, doesn't it? Who else would be counsel besides... Ouch. Alright, the answer to this question is going to be pivotal. This is the start of you turning the trial around. Show them what you're made of. Got it! So, the person eating the steak at the victim's table must have been...
It was me!
It was me!
Two witness victims, and as yet, unknown.
I guess. I mean, it could be the victim, it could be the two witnesses, it couldn't have been me. It should be an as yet unknown third party.
Well, technically, it was one of the two witnesses. But that's the steak with the Koban coin. I think.
Who knows? Let's just say an as yet unknown third party.
We're not supposed to know that information yet.
Honestly, it only could have been someone else who was sitting at the professor's table.
Objection!
You will not let this go, will you? That was not such person!
Yes!
There was! Because I saw her! When the incident occurred, we know that the victim couldn't have been eating anything. Yet we have evidence of a half-eaten steak on his table. Therefore, the only logical conclusion is that there was somebody else there eating it. We have strong evidence to support our assertion. It's clear that these witness testimonies are unreliable. If the court decides to push through a ruling at this stage, we will lodge a formal complaint with the Ministry of Justice and pursue a fair retrial, relentlessly. Kazuma, are you insane?
Maybe.
You would take on the government. Don't worry, counsel. I have no issue with you. What do you mean? I have issue with them. Those two witnesses in the stand. Whoa.
Don't you mean 3?
There's a baby. What are you talking about? We have demonstrated with evidence that the victim was not alone. So, if it now turns out that the two of you deliberately lied when giving your testimonies, obviously you will be charged with perjury. Perjury? And since this is a murder trial, you will also be deemed complicit in the killing. Complicit in murder? No! Negative! There was no mention of this in the technical meaning! I was just following orders! That's right! As the man says! Just say never yourself the gentlewoman! That's what they told us! Oh. What? What'd you just say, Korakuda-san? Oh, no! You were just following orders? No, hold on, lad! I was, Say you never saw the gentlewoman? Yeah. When you say gentlewoman, do you mean you saw the victim with a lady from overseas? What?
Objection!
What is the meaning of all this? These witnesses gave false statements? Is this true, you pair? Just one simple slip of the tongue! Order, order! Council, explain what's going on here. It's painfully clear now, you tried to prevent these witnesses from telling the truth. Absolutely not! The prosecution knows nothing of this! Then who's behind this? Who tried to make you keep your mouth shut? Well, that's classified! So you're prepared to be tried as a conspirator to this murder, are you? You wouldn't! This can't be happening! Rinosuke, judging from the way they're reacting to this, I'd say they were sworn to silence by someone with considerable influence. However, I don't believe Ouchie had any idea about it. What are you saying? I mean, to wield that kind of influence, there are only a handful of possibilities. It could only have been the government, the military, or the police, I suppose. Well, any ideas about who might be behind this? If we can affirm who tried to silence these witnesses, then we can continue our pursuit. So we need to name whoever it was that tried to make the witnesses keep their mouths shut. Of course we'll need evidence before we make any firm accusations. Evidence? Evidence that proves whoever it was really did wield his or her power here. But how? How can we possibly—
We already have it. Just let me do it.
Remember how we made progress before? We examined this piece of evidence in more detail and found a new clue as a result. Oh yes, that's right. Well, that's not the only piece of evidence we have, is it? We need to re-examine everything and make sure there's nothing we've missed. There's no time to lose. I want answers! If it's proven that these witnesses have been manipulated, I assure you, the penalty will be severe! Please, wait, Your Excellency! I had no idea about any of this! I swear to every single god!
Isn't this when we looked it up and found out there's like 900 or something?
And more coming to this day.
What?
There's a spirit in this big red.
There's a Shinto god in your soda.
No! I knew nothing!
The kami or inside your soda.
No! I've been drinking a spirit this whole time! Well, I'm not stopping now. Now that I know the truth.
You should pray with every sip. Oops, I'm sorry. Oh, okay.
Pray. I prayed. And what's the defense have to say about this? There's a spirit in your coffee.
Coffee, kami.
Kami coffee. Cough, cough. Well, Your Excellency! There's a spirit in this game. The microphone has a spirit.
They're kami, they're not spirits.
I say spirit.
Okay.
No time to think! I'm just going to have to close my eyes and shout out the first name that comes into my head. Waiter!
Is it Daddy? What?
That sounds like the birds!
Oh. You're scaring me with the way you're looking at me.
Oh, sorry. Alright,
Oh, are we
besides the
naming-
prosecution, the only person with the necessary influence to manipulate the witnesses is Satoru Hosonaga.
He's 29?
29!
Why does he have years.
Did he die in there? And I kind of thought he was like in his 40s or something.
Alright, you ready?
He looks like a guy in his 40s. How are these guys more younger than they look? Okay, I'm ready to continue.
Yes.
Well, surely that would be Satoru Hosonaga-san. Hosonaga-san? The waiter who took the stand earlier?
Objection!
Poppycock!
Did you say something?
Oh, he died it.
He died.
That's what I said.
Well, this is like... Never mind. Oh, did you say that? Poppycock?
What possible reason would the waiter have to make these witnesses give false testimony? Not to mention the fact that even a head waiter could not possibly have had that level of influence.
For once, I would agree with you. If that is, the man truly were a waiter.
What if it truly were?
Now that I think about it, imagine if we were to say his name, mention Satoru Hosonaga, and this happens, and we didn't even bother to look at his business card.
That would be weird.
Yeah, I mean, how would they even find out?
We'd have to start over.
Alright, come on, Ryunosuke! Time to hit this court with the truth! The truth about Satoru Hosonaga-san's real identity is proven by this evidence.
Oops.
The waiter's business card.
Yes.
The plan of the restaurant sketched by the man in question? I agree it shows a great deal of attention to detail, but I'm not sure if we can conclude anything. Sorry, Your Excellency, that's the back of the card. It's the back of the card that's of interest. I beg your pardon? Or perhaps I should have said the front? Yes, it's the front of the back of the card. That's where the telling detail is. Would somebody please explain what this overexcited student is trying to say? Hosonaga-san sketched a plan at the restaurant on the reverse side of his business card. The front of that business card reveals the man in question's profession. His true profession.
Petition.
Professor! The waiter's profession, but that's surely... Good gracious! That's right, Your Excellency! The card reads, Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. What? The waiter is a police detective? I haven't heard any mention of this before. Why haven't I heard any mention of this before?
Why didn't you look at the evidence?
The Imperial Police Bureau has immense power. Absolute power as far as regular civilians are concerned. So, witnesses there to stand. Was it in fact the waiter who gave you your orders? Was it he who told you not to mention that you'd seen this foreign gentlewoman at the scene? Well... Inspector Hosonaga! I was worried something like this may happen. The moment you asked me to submit my sketch as evidence, I realized it was a possibility. Evidence. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence.
We were there. We don't need a flashback. It happened in the courtroom.
Oh, well... Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Of course. Here you are.
This isn't us.
Oh, it's him.
Oh.
It's him. Yes, I remember now. He did act strangely when the judge asked them to hand over his business card. I strive to carry out all investigations flawlessly. It's my guiding principle. But I let myself be distracted when I made that sketch.
It was an unusually careless mistake.
I like how he acts all tough in this trial, but he becomes like the goofiest character.
I know! Y'all know what... You guys will know what we mean in
the future.
In the future. In the future, you'll know what we mean. So, you mean to say you really are a detective? No.
No, that's a fake.
No. That's a fake. Hosonaga is not my real name. And I'm actually in my 40s.
I'm actually not 29.
I lied about my age. But why would a detective be working as a restaurant waiter? Ah, of course! Your salary must be terrible.
Oh,
I was
no.
working undercover.
He's mentioning his salary.
Your salary must be terrible. I was working undercover. Undercover? Yes, there have been a series of incidents at the restaurant recently. In order to investigate, I decided to get a job there as a waiter, working undercover. Incidents at the restaurant? What kind of incidents? That would be classified police information, which I am not at liberty to divulge. However, I can say categorically that they are unrelated to this case of homicide.
No!
I like how the moment one finger touches it, you're like, no!
I see you reaching for it. No!
Very well then, Inspector Hosonaga, we will elaborate on 1 point for the court. Of course, Your Excellency. We have just heard new information from the 2 witnesses beside you. That at the time of the shooting, there was in fact another person present at the victim's table. If that is indeed true, clearly you would also have been aware of this person's presence, having served at the table in question. However, your testimony did not allude to this other diner. Therefore, I'm led to assume that in your professional capacity as a police officer, you require these witnesses to be in agreement. Would that be correct?
Uh-oh. Oh!
Correct, Your Excellency. Unbelievable! As I suspected.
Here, you use the bathroom.
What time is it?
It's almost 7:30. You can keep talking.
Okay. Oops, Alright. Bang. As soon as I heard the gunshot, I ran out of the kitchen to see what had happened. The victim sat slumped in his chair, and beside him, gun in hand, stood the accused student. Sitting opposite the victim at the same table was a young lady, whom I guessed to be an English woman. So the truth comes out. I immediately sealed off the restaurant and reported the incident to the Bureau. It was then that I received some special orders. Special orders? You mean to say, remove the English woman from the scene at once. It was made clear that the English woman's presence at the restaurant was to be concealed.
Sorry about that.
Those were my orders. But what if this English woman was the killer? I think it would be in everyone's best interest not to pursue that idea.
You can't tell me what to do. You're not my dad.
You're too young to be my dad.
What? What?
It's funny.
You're not even my dad at all. You look nothing like my dad.
That's too bad.
Alright. The Empire views the friendly terms of its relationship with Britain more highly than anything at the moment. An Englishman has been murdered on our soil. To name an Englishwoman is the primary suspect. Well, without irrefutable evidence. That would be completely out of the question. Evidence.
Evidence.
So that's the reason for the disappearance of the Phantom Woman in this case. But it's not right! One possibility does spring to mind. What do you mean, Kazuma? Yuma University is currently hosting a number of exchange students from Great Britain. I'm fairly certain that one of them, studying in the medical faculty's research laboratory, is a young English woman. What? You're a shrewd man. You know, it's kind of funny how the guy who looks this curious is hiding behind the curio. The surgeon's mustache keeps on getting pulled by a baby, while Hosonaga, on the other hand, is just, oh, calm.
Calm and collected.
Yeah, calm, collected, and serious.
Oh, did you read it? I'm
No.
sorry.
You mean? Oh, you're a shrewd man. I can see why you're the chosen candidate for the overseas study tour. When I removed the woman from the scene of the crime, I thought it prudent to check her identity first. Then the court demands that you name the lady in question at once, Inspector. The English woman sitting at the university professor's table was a certain Miss Josiah Brett. She is indeed a foreign student studying in the research laboratory of Yuma University's medical faculty. What is happening here? I admit that under orders from the police bureau, I erased all evidence of this lady's presence at the scene, in order these witnesses to make no mention of her in their testimonies. You're welcome. It must now be up to your excellency to decide how to deal with the situation. Very well. My thoughts on the matter are as follows. Thus far, the case presented to the court has been underpinned by a particularly critical premise. Namely, that the victim was dining alone. However, as we now have discovered that this premise is false, it would be a desecration of our justice system to ignore the truth and give a ruling at this point.
Objection!
But, Your Excellency! Now I'm being missing the noon deadline of a ruling in order to send a telegraphic report to Great Britain. Our own government will surely be very displeased by such actions. Calm yourself, Counsel. I will not allow the government of our country or any other to influence the proceedings of my courtroom. Ag! Inspector Hosonaga. Yes, sir? You will locate this Josiah Brett and escort her to the courtroom with the utmost urgency. At once, Your Excellency. But now you'll be going against the special orders you were given from the police bureau. No, as I said before. Nope. It is my guiding principle to carry out all investigations flawlessly. So it won't be a problem? Yes, it will be a problem. Nothing will get in my way. It's the fist of justice.
Except tuberculosis.
This is his fist of justice. Court will adjourn briefly. The prosecution must call the English student to decide right to the witness stand. Do I make myself clear?
Chris.
Yes! Your Excellency! Good. Do we have a 30-minute recess before reconvening?
Slap it.
No! To be continued.
Alright, I'm gonna stop here.
Yes. That scene was so long! I'm pretty sure it's past 7:30 now.
Oh, you know what? I forgot what the song was.
Wait, let me
Or
do
was
it.
it the previous one?
What time is it? 7:28.
That whistle.